senior out of Punahou High School on Oahu in Hawaii. He's a guy, I mean, Chris, it feels like he's been on this team forever. I mean, but that's the type of leadership he has. Even from a young age, he has understood work ethic and provides a real burst for this team. Probably their best do-everything running back.
And Bronco recruited him when he was at BYU. Talapapa went on a mission, went back to Hawaii, and then found his way here at Virginia. When Bronco came to Virginia, Armstrong going to the end zone again. Double coverage. And just hung it up a little bit too high. Incomplete. Nice job in defending that one by Kirby Joseph and Tony Adams. Best cover corner here for Illinois.
Yeah, it was a good job playing the ball in the air. You see number 25 come from all the way across the field. Really good job of making a play on the football. But you see how long it took for that route to develop and how much time Brennan Armstrong had in the pocket. The offensive line is shutting down any pass rush Illinois has.
Second down and 10. Armstead now in motion in the backfield. The fake to Armstead. That looked almost like wing T-esque in the backfield.
I asked Brennan Armstrong, I said, you do some things at this quarterback position that no one's asked to do. I mean, he took a shotgun snap, he reversed out underneath, handed it off to his running back. I mean, if you're playing linebacker and you see the quarterback spin around like that, you don't know where the ball is.
Eye candy. Isn't that what they call when they call it eye candy? There's all kinds of things going on. And eye discipline. Right. Eye candy and eye discipline.
Eye candy tastes so good, too, right? Until you take a bite, and then you're like, oh, my gosh.
And then you're like, oh, I forgot about eye discipline.
Yeah, I forgot about eye discipline.
Armstrong to throw. Keeping a tight end in for protection. Underneath, broken up. That was Jatavius Martin for the Illini and forcing a fourth down for the first time today. This defense stepping up when they really had their backs against the wall.
Yeah, good job by the Illini. Brennan Armstrong missed one on that last play. He had Demick Starling man-to-man, one-on-one inside. Would have been another touchdown pass, but now they're bringing out their kicker. Make a long field goal here.
46 yards for Justin Dunkel. Just wide right. So maybe a little bit of momentum for Illinois as they keep Virginia off the scoreboard for the first time on a drive this afternoon. Let's see what Bielema's offense can do when we come back.
Welcome back. Illinois has the football, but let's talk about some storylines from last week in football. North Carolina, big loss last week to Virginia Tech, and Virginia Tech's defense was phenomenal. UNC lost so much production from last year. They really showed that they need guys to develop. And then Florida State, they played so well versus Notre Dame. They came up short, but watch that Florida State defense. They were getting to the quarterback. They're going to be a team to watch, much improved, as is this Virginia Cavalier squad. Really laying a licking on the Illini so far.
Art Sikowski taking the Illini back onto the field here. They need more than a 3-and-out on this drive. As you can see, some of the games today, and you know, Syracuse, some of these teams like Pitt, Syracuse, you don't really know what you got in week one because they took care of competition that wasn't up to snuff. Now things get a little tougher.
Yeah, same thing with NC State. They posted a shutout. However, the ACC lost conference Power 5 game last week. They have an opportunity to make good on some of those and give the ACC some clout back.
Sikowski on play action has a receiver out in the flat. It's going to be close to a first down, but it looks like it's going to be a little shy. DJ Barker, the tight end, on the receiving end. Sikowski's arm got hit when he threw that, but he was able to just put enough on it to get it out to Barker. Let's talk about Virginia's tight end and Jelani Woods, who's really good. They've got a couple of them here in Illinois. Daniel Barker, DJ Barker, and Luke Ford, who began his career at Georgia and transferred in here. They love these two tight ends.
Yeah, they love the two tight ends, and they love two tight end set. They're going to play 12 personnel, meaning one running back, two tight ends a lot this game. Right now they got the two tight ends to the right side of the formation, and they got the big Josh McCray, true freshman running back in the game.
Leaps over the line of scrimmage and almost broke it. Now that's a young man who's 6'1", 240 pounds, listed. A true freshman out of Enterprise, Alabama, who showed himself a little, twinkle toes here at the line of scrimmage.
Look at this, right over top. Good job blocking up front by the offensive line. But we talked to Brett Bielema about his true freshman running back. And this is a guy who's being recruited by the SEC as an inside linebacker. His high school coach also coached Melvin Gordon, who was recruited by Brett Bielema, and basically texted Bielema and said, I got a guy for you. And he said he can be a Big Ten running back. Bielema watched 10 seconds of film, called him back and said, you're right, tell him he's a Big Ten running back.
Sikowski now after a first down near midfield. And a nice job defensively. Chase Brown on the receiving end, and Virginia got good pursuit. Antonio Clary was there along with Lucy Milani just to slow things down and allow their teammates to make the stop.
I've been impressed with UVA and their open field tackling so far this game. Bielema thought that he might be able to get some production, getting the ball on the edges. So far in this game, UVA has been pretty stout.
Second down and 12. Sikowski flanked by Chase Brown. Virginia showing a little bit of pressure, maybe by Noah Taylor, number 7 here near side. He comes off the edge. Then pressure up the middle, too, and Sikowski's able to unload it, but it's incomplete as Anthony Johnson. Elliott Brown is there to put the pressure on the quarterback, and Johnson broke up the pass.
Yeah, good job by Johnson breaking down on the ball. And UVA did a great job of holding their blitz till the final moment. Noah Taylor was almost a decoy, and now these Wahoo fans are on their feet. Happy to be back in Scott Stadium. Getting loud.
Yeah, those mimosas, those Bloody Marys we saw when they were tailgating earlier, kicking in here late first quarter. Third down and 12.
Here comes pressure.
Virginia brings it, picked up initially. Sikowski, though, misfires. Looking for Navarro on the outside. They'll bring up fourth down.
Sikowski had him, too. Had him on the comeback route. I don't think it would have gotten enough for a first down regardless. But Illinois offensive line, good job protecting their quarterback, allowing him to make the throw just off target.
Okay. Blake Hayes, Big Ten punter of the year.
An absolute weapon.
Averaging 50 yards a punt already today. He just makes it look easy. This one high and angling out of bounds. Good for the net, if not for the punting average. Virginia will take over from their own, as the official walks up, from their own 29-yard line. Time for our marathon drive recap, and it's the scoring drives for Virginia right out of the gate, Mark. Brennan Armstrong was on target. Big chunk plays to his tight end and receivers. In the blink of an eye, they were up 14-0 before most people woke up today.
Yeah, work in the middle of the field. Understanding the soft spot in this man-to-man coverage that Illinois was playing so good between the numbers. Outside the right hash, he's been a little bit sparse in terms of his accuracy, but inside the hashes, he is on fire.
And he's got a receiver streaking down the left side. Contact before, and the officials call it incomplete, but no flag coming down. Now one official says a catch. The official on the far side, now they get together and say incomplete.
Yeah, Tariq Barnes, the linebacker. The fans are calling for that pass interference.
What, did Armstrong have all day to throw this, or what?
He absolutely did. This is absolutely pass interference. That's a defender. As a linebacker trying to cover a running back on that wheel route, you're in good position, but you don't put that hand up until you see the receiver's hands go up. Got there a little early, but got away with one.
Armstrong to throw again. Now just throws it into the ground as that play did not develop the way he had hoped. Just took his medicine to play for another down.
An impressive stop right here. You know, third down and long. It's what Illinois wants to force Virginia to do offensively. Obviously, it's not over till it's over, but this is where Illinois wants to pressure. It's their nature to get after the quarterback in this situation. And Ryan Walters, let's see if he does dial up some pressure. Watch number 35, Jake Hansen, super senior in the middle of the field.
Armstrong now tries to go deep again. He misfired on his last 5 throws. That one incomplete, and the Illinois defense looks like they're going to be able to get off the field, which is something they had a real problem doing here in the first couple of weeks, especially last week in the loss to UTSA.
Yeah, good job by Illinois. And right now, even though the stat sheet is so dominated by Virginia, those last 2 stops, the missed field goal and then this 3 and out, are really good for Illinois. They're right in this game, 14-point game. 1 touchdown would go a long way. Flag down.
He flagged prior to Jacob Finn's punt.
False start. Kicking team.
False start against Virginia on special teams. That just doesn't that just kill you as a coach? Mm-hmm. Giving up 5 yards on a punt.
It does, especially from where you are. You know, in this situation, all yardage counts. If you're on the other side of the 50, whatever, but
you're not trying to fire off the ball and get 1 yard, pick up a first down. So
it comes down to focus, and got a lot of starters on this punt team. Maybe a little winded.
Jacob Finn's the transfer out of Florida. I like what he's done. Now a low punt. Let's see if we can get a bounce. He does. And it favors the Cavaliers down to the 28-yard line, and that's where Art Sikowski and company will take over with 28 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Coming up next, Rutgers and Syracuse from the Carrier Dome, followed then by number 6 Clemson hosting South Carolina State in Death Valley. Our day is capped off with our ACC Network primetime matchup presented by Geico. Jacksonville State squares off against Florida State. Kenzie Milton, will we see more of him, you think?
I think so. I mean, he came in the end of that Florida State game and led a really solid drive.
Looked good.
Yeah, he looked really good. And the way they run that offense, I can anticipate seeing both of those quarterbacks in that game.
Chase Brown trying the right side, still on his feet, running hard for 2 yards. That's pretty much been the MO in this running game for Illinois in this first quarter. 2 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah, you really want 3.5 yards in a cloud of dust. 2 yards in a cloud of dust isn't going to get it done. However, they want to establish that run game. We talked to Bielema about his lack of run success early in the game. He said, stay with it, it'll work.
Hasn't worked so far. Lots worked well for Virginia. The Cavaliers, an early start here in Charlottesville. And they got off to an early start with 2 quick scores. 14-0, Virginia after 1.
against McNeese. Every game also available on the ESPN app, so you can watch from anywhere. Hey, I mentioned these fans out here all night long. They literally were. They were camping out in some tents, trying to get the best possible position. And these are actually students, which makes it that much better. Ryan McGee asked these guys what it would be like to have rival Texas in the SEC. Take a listen to this.
We're here on the eve of the Texas-Arkansas game. Texas is going to be in the SEC in the very near future. All right, Arkansas fans.
Penalties. Just kidding. Some intriguing historical angles in this week's SEC slate. Arkansas and Texas meeting for the 79th time. The biggest meeting was the game of the century in 1969. Number 1 Texas rallied from a 14-point deficit to beat number 2 Arkansas on its way to the national championship. A lot of people talk about that one. Missouri and Kentucky don't have as long a history as the Razorbacks and Longhorns, but there was some bad blood last year. The Tigers snapped a 5-game losing streak against the Wildcats. This one, big time in the SEC, as Paul told you earlier. Whoever loses this game in a tough spot. And it's a family reunion in Baton Rouge. LSU hosting McNeese. The Cowboys starting quarterback is Cody Orgeron, Ed's son. It's believed to be the first time a Division I player has faced his father's team in a game since 1982. And Tennessee hosts Pittsburgh in the Johnny Majors Classic. Majors won a national championship with Pitt in 1978 before leading the Volunteers to 3 SEC titles in 16 years in Knoxville. We got a couple of Vols guys here to tell us a little more about this connection. Ryan McGee and Paul, take it away.
Laura, we appreciate it. Yeah, they're calling it the Johnny Majors Classic. They're taking this very seriously. It was already scheduled home and home with Tennessee and Pitt. And so we got 2 guys here. Paul was in Tennessee as a student when Johnny Majors arrived from Pittsburgh. I was a student at Tennessee working for Coach Majors in the athletic department at the end of his tenure. The beginning was a lot smoother than the end, but Coach Majors had a huge impact on my life. Every day at practice on the tower, on the offensive tower, asking me how I did on my history test, asked me if I was still dating that girl from Nashville, asked me what dad my game was refereeing that weekend. And he was so larger than life. I walked across Johnny Majors Boulevard to go to work, but yet he still was so relatable, which is why everybody, for the most part, loved Coach Majors.
It was such a different time, Ryan, but think about this. Tennessee had flirted with Majors earlier, and it didn't work out, and there was some feeling that he might not come back. And finally, Pitt's on its way to a national championship. They have a game with Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, and they went ahead and hired him.
Yeah.
They hired him in early December, and the headlines everywhere in the state, Johnny comes marching home. He still had one more game to coach. This would never happen anymore, and it was the biggest thing that the state had seen since Johnny Majors had played.
Yeah.
When spring practice, senators and governors showed up. First game, it was a major media event. He had a really rough start, and then he turned it on, almost got to a national championship, and ended, unfortunately. But the connection with Pittsburgh was legendary.
Yeah, and that's why I wore this tie, quite honestly, because you see the pictures of Coach Majors, and he's got this tie on as he's being carried off the field. Tony Dorsett, of course,
right.
Or Tony Dorsett, as Coach Majors always called him. But what an impact on me. And his second job as an assistant coach was here at Arkansas with Frank Broyles, 1964 to 67. Those are some really good football teams. And Coach Majors would tell a lot of great stories. And he would say, Ron, I'm going to tell you some stories about Arkansas. And he'd tell me about coaching Jerry Jones and coaching Kenny Hatfield and coaching Jimmy Johnson. And then he would tell me some stories. And he'd say, all right, you can tell people those stories. You can't tell people the stories I'm about to tell you about when I was assistant coach in Fayetteville. So he was a colorful character is the best way I know to put it.
Yeah, and I will say this. I'm glad he's being honored today. And even though he won a national championship, I don't think Coach Majors gets enough credit as being a legendary coach and a historical coach. Because of what happened at Tennessee, he was fired, and Phil Fulmer came in, and then he went to Pittsburgh and did not have a good encore
Inherited
there.
a terrible team. Yep.
But he is still beloved by everyone in Tennessee and everyone in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, well, and that's just it. And you and I are both Thomas Wolfe guys, and of course, you can't go home again. And when Coach Majors wrote his autobiography, he called it "You Can Go Home Again," and I still have a copy of that in my office. But it just the impact that he had, I agree that he's underappreciated. But I tell you this, people can say what they want about the one-year Lane Kiffin era at Tennessee. Lane Kiffin, second day on the job, called Johnny Majors and said, here's a key card, here's an office, you can come here all you want. And Coach Majors would park in front of the building illegally, and the campus police would give him a ticket, and he'd go, I can park wherever I want. It's Johnny Majors Boulevard. So, Laura, the impact that Johnny Majors had at 2 different schools, and to this day, I'm so blown away at the tribute for today. And by the way, Josh Heupel, during the Vol Walk, had on a tweedish suit to pay homage to Coach Majors today. So I'm glad to see him getting his due here in the 100th anniversary of Neyland Stadium. A
lot of respect for Coach Majors, and rightfully so. We'll see Joe Milton at the quarterback position for Tennessee once again with an opportunity against a really good Pitt defense. Tennessee only a 3.5-point favorite at home as we're about 15 minutes away from kickoff. Tim, who are you taking in this game?
I'm going Pitt.
Wow.
I think they're going to get a lot of pressure. I think Joe's going to have a good game, but I think there's going to be a few turnovers in the end. It's just too much.
Yeah, I got a chance to work with Kenny Pickett a couple times at Manning Passing Academy. Really talented. That defense lost so much from last year. I got Pitt.
Wow. Roman's taking Tennessee. Paul is also taking Tennessee. So we do have some Tennessee picks on this show. Get ready to watch that one on ESPN. Let's take a look at the smoothest play brought to you by Velveeta. And while Ole Miss spent most of its opener running around on Louisville, Snoop Connor decided to run through the Cardinals. I know. What are you going to do?
Did he get a targeting?
Well, listen, sometimes there's a sign out here that says you can't hug your mom without getting a targeting. This is Velveeta's smoothest play. As I was mentioning, Snoop Connor, he ran for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win, providing an exclamation point when he plowed over Chandler Jones in the 4th quarter. All right, we're going to be right back here on SEC Nation. Keep it locked with us, and we've got a whole lot more coming your way, including these guys making their picks for the game that's happening right here behind us in just a few hours. Find out if they're taking Arkansas or Texas. We're so thankful for the fans being out here, and it's great for SEC Nation to be back on campus once again. SEC Nation is presented by Johnsonville.
Regions has really good mortgage rates right now. We should look into refinancing.
Okay. Refi? Are we grown-ups? With a rainy day fund? Extra money every month. Money's good. I like money. And house plans, furniture we don't have to assemble ourselves? Let's do this thing. You read my mind.
When money gets you dreaming, apply online to refinance your mortgage with Regions, or work with our mortgage loan officers and live in the moment.
Academy Sports and Outdoors is pulling in the best of Under Armour. We've curated and stocked all the best Under Armour gear. Everything you could possibly want, from backpacks to performance apparel and the latest Under Armour kicks, we've got it at Academy. So get it all at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
The cool thing about watching the game at home, on the couch with some mozzarella bites, you can't get lost. It's this way, I promise. Goats have no sense of direction. You gotta be kidding me. Hey, you're my ride home, Frank!
It's Velveeta versus the other guys. Clearly, nothing melts like Velveeta.
What up, TB?
What do you think my next move should be?
Retirement. Tamp down the stress and amp up the relaxation, baby. Retirement is like winning another championship.
On the Spotty Network, this is what Tom heard.
Tampa Bay. Maybe I'll even join you.
My goal, bring a championship to Tampa Bay. And Gronk's coming with me.
Mom, where are my football pants?
Don't trust big decisions to just any network. Go with T-Mobile, the GO in 5G.
I want that treasure. Oh, an orc? Water first. So look, hold the key above. It's the treasure. Ah, got caught anyway. Download and solve the puzzles now.
Okay. Oh. We're back on on SEC Nation. Our game picks are presented by Regions. We're getting closer and closer to that moment. Some great fans out here, some great signs as well. And by the way, we're going to pick a fan with the best sign. They're going to get a big prize. So that's coming up a little bit later on. Hey, one of our favorite parts of this show, it's called Y'all. It's when somebody does something that just makes you say, y'all. So let's dive right into it because there was a lot that happened last weekend. This one in UCLA versus LSU. And Max Johnson in this game trying to make everything happen that he possibly could. But there was this behind-the-back no-look pass. Tim, it falls incomplete. I don't know how else to put it.
I guess it worked out for him. I wouldn't encourage that. Like, that's just I don't even know if y'all's the right word for that one.
Y'all don't do it.
If you're y'all do not do it.
Y'all, that never works.
That's not going to work. We may be hearing Paul Feinbaum making some plans over there. That's another version of y'all. All right, Florida Atlantic versus Florida. Damian Pierce scoring a touchdown. But look what happens here. Roman, he's just like launched in the air.
Look, it's great to celebrate with your teammates, but you're like, dude, y'all do not throw me up that high. Like, I wasn't ready.
Bad.
Come on.
Laying on his back.
But he's flexing too, dog.
The ref's like, can I help you up, sir? Y'all.
I mean, that's like an 8-foot drop.
All right, Akron versus Auburn. And Auburn's Owen Papo wants his defensive lineman to move. He smacks him in the butt, but it draws the other team offside.
Did you hear that?
Definitely a handprint.
That had some reverb to it.
We might have potted that up a little bit. I don't know if it was actually that loud real time.
I'm just glad that was on the hip and not like all the way on the back.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Miami versus Alabama. Despite being down 27-0, Miami took out their turnover chain, but then they actually they had to put it back away. We'll see that in a second. Oops, boop, boop. Sorry.
Yeah,
y'all. You're getting beat that bad. Even if it was a turnover, can you keep it on?
You definitely have to do it. When you get the turnover, you still got to rock.
That's such a defensive guy. Oh, guys, look at this one. Trevor Lawrence made a bet with Jaguars teammate Terry Godwin for the Clemson-Georgia game. The Dogs won, so Lawrence had to wear full Georgia gear. Look how shamed
I love it, though. Give it up for Trevor, though, and actually fulfilling it.
Next week, Roman Tim?
I'm totally down with that bet. I ain't running.
All right.
You better talk to Tim.
If Tim doesn't, well, what would you guys bet?
I'm right here.
What do you guys want to bet?
What is it?
Florida, Alabama next week. What's the wager? One of you has to wear
jersey.
The jersey. Okay, so you'll wear an Alabama or you'll wear a Florida jersey if Florida wins, and Tim.
And not just for the show, but I mean, at some point we got to do the whole thing, like the whole
day,
whole
week,
the whole lead up.
Oh, whoa!
Not a whole week.
You're not confident? You're not confident?
No. Okay.
I'm not sure if that bet was actually solidified or not. We'll get back to it later. Let's take a look at Hometown Connection, brought to you by T-Mobile. The University of Arkansas is celebrating its 150th anniversary this year. Here are School Chancellor Dr. Charles F. Robinson. Big Red is up here for the cake. Oh my goodness, thank you, Big Red. I almost took 2 cookies. That's a beautiful cake. And this is an amazing occasion. Thank you guys for being here.
Smell it.
By the way, Big Red beat me in paper, rock, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors.
Really good.
Chancellor, you think, can I try this?
Absolutely.
Okay, I want to.
Wait.
Anybody else?
Yeah,
I feel bad kind of messing it up, but it looks so good. Roman?
It's really good.
It looks amazing.
That's beautiful.
Really good. Smell it.
All
Get
right.
your face down.
We got more coming your way on SEC Nation. Tuss might want to taste some of this, too.
Let's give some to Tuss.
He was done with all those grapes. I don't know if it's part of Tuss' diet, though. We'll be right back. And SEC Nation is presented by Johnsonville.
I want the whole cake.
Yeah, straight frosting.
Is it good?
Biggest here in a while. That team from down south's coming to town. You know, that herd from Austin. Our old rival from the old Southwest Conference. They've got that mascot. Oh, what's his name?
Oh, my Lord! Oh!
Yeah, that guy. Now, he may have scared the fleas off old Ugly, but you tell your team, don't bring that bull here. This is Razorback country. And when we run, it's with full force. You just consider this a christening for what's to come in the SEC. But just so you know, this ain't a welcome wagon.
Your 15th ranked ranked Texas against Arkansas. Justin Moore, the country singer, the sensation, also the songwriter, and proud Arkansas fan.
If heaven wasn't so far away. Is that okay? Is that good?
Sounds better than me.
Is it better if I'm like, you can't even bait a hook?
I like that one, too.
Hey, can you rate his singing skills?
Yeah, what was that?
That was like a 2.
He's a lot bigger than I am.
Watch out, he'll knock your hat off. All right, Justin, we're going to let you go first as we make our picks here. By the way, the whole point of this, you got to go to the side that you're picking. So Arkansas is here, Texas is there for the people at home. Oh!
By the way,
You know,
I think it's brown. It's kind of brown.
Wait.
Okay.
All right.
Standing over here for now.
All right,
Let's see.
Tim, you're next. Who are you taking?
Listen,
Justin,
I love what
here.
Sam Pittman's doing. I love the staff. I love the coaching staff, the string staff.
Whoa.
I even love the fans right now.
Uh-oh.
What? Guys, you're going to be great. You're just not great yet.
What?
Tim goes to Texas. Roman, what are you doing?
I think the defense of Arkansas will be a difference maker today. I think K.J. Jefferson makes enough plays offensively. And also, I love these fans. They will be a difference maker tonight. I'm going Arkansas. I'm not leaving.
All eyes should be on Arkansas's offense. They got a lot of questions to answer, but I tell you what, I'm with you. The defense, baby. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Oh, man. It's feeling a little lonely over there.
It's a little lonely. It's okay.
Okay.
I've stood by myself before.
All right. Paul's pick is
comes to the good
presented
side,
by Regions. Paul, you got to tell us what you're going to do here as we hear this crowd ripping and roaring. They've been calling the Hogs. They want to turn that dang jukebox
What do you got,
on.
Paul?
What are you going to do, Paul Feinbaum? Oh, boy.
I grew up in Memphis loving the Hogs.
Uh-oh.
Don't do it.
Oh, no.
Don't do it. Oh, no. Don't do it.
Everybody except Tim Tebow picked the Arkansas Razorbacks. That'd be an enormous win for this fan base, for the Hogs. They'd be beating the 15th ranked team in the country. What an incredible environment here today. We're thankful to Fayetteville for all the great hospitality, and we are so excited to see what happens in week 2 of SEC play. We've got Alabama State and Auburn coming up next right here on the SEC Network. We will see you next week on SEC Nation. Don't forget, Marty and McGee started all off at 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll see you at 10 a.m.
I feel like I lost all my friends.
Call those Hogs, Tim.
no more friends.
Tim, you got no friends. I'm sorry. We love you, though.
Well, the student section is ready to go. It's game number 2 in the Brian Harsin era. Game number 1 was a highly successful event. Today, a little local favor as Alabama State comes a calling to the loveliest village on the plains. It's all coming your way in a matter of moments. SEC Network Football is presented by Allstate. And it's going to be a great day here in Auburn as Alabama State, the Hornets, make their second trip to Jordan-Hare Stadium as the Auburn Tigers, ranked number 25 in the country, looking to go 2-0. Well, we are very lucky to have one of the best to ever play in the Southeastern Conference. You might know him by the name of Deuce McAllister. Played at Ole Miss back in the late 90s, early 2000. Rushed for over 3,000 yards. 3 straight years of 1,000 yards on the ground. Was a first-round pick by the New Orleans Saints. 2-time Pro Bowler and was just a beast. And we hope he is a beast in the booth as well as he joins us here on the SEC Network throughout the season. I'm Dave Neal, and this is number 22, Deuce McAllister. Andrea Carter will join us down the sidelines in a moment. But Deuce, man, welcome aboard. This is going to be fun.
This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. You know, you talk about the SEC, the best conference in the land, and so I'm excited to be able to obviously broadcast and be able to bring the game to the fans.
All right, let's talk about this game because Auburn, obviously, Brian Harsin, first game last week, a lot of people looking to see what it would look like. Well, it looked great. They win by 50. Penn State's on the horizon. Yeah. How important is this game in terms of moving forward?
Well, they have to focus on the task at hand, and I think when you talk about that, that's making sure that they're clean as far as offense, defense, and special teams. And there are going to be some mistakes, but you have to limit them as best as possible. You know, I'm interested to see if Bo Nix can follow up on the game that he had last week and continue to build as they go on their first road trip next week.
Obviously, consistency has been the real ticket with Bo. How consistent can he be? Well, if week one's any indication, Auburn fans are in for a pleasurable season.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, when you talk about having the ability to be able to do some of the things that he's been able to do, and just really in a new offense. And so, you know, you talk about from a head coach standpoint, from an offensive coordinator, getting him comfortable, making sure that he understands what they want to do from a system standpoint, as well as just getting the ball to the playmakers. And I think that he obviously did an outstanding job last week in doing so. It'll be the same thing, hopefully, today for him as well.
And he'll lean on that running game today as well. Tank Bixby and Jarquez Hunter, the freshman, was fantastic as well. There is Brian Harsin. First year at Auburn, 9th year as a head coach. Had some great success at Boise before coming here. The former collegiate quarterback likes what he has seen from his club to this point. But every week is a new week. And, of course, running the show for Alabama State, Donald Hill-Ely has been around for a while. Likes this team, but obviously this is a big, big test for his group. He knows it. But his club excited all week. Could see it in practice that this is a challenge that they're willing and able to accept. So Auburn won the toss. They defer. Alabama State will get the football first, and we are just about set to go. Actually, an impressive crowd. Student section is filled to the brim today. Way to go, Tiger students. That one will go into the end zone. So Ryan Nettles, the redshirt freshman quarterback out of Evergreen, Alabama, had a really good opening week as Alabama State had to go to overtime to take down Miles 14-13. But Nettles was 20 of 30, 197 yards, also ran it 9 times. And obviously he's going to be a big factor in what they try to do offensively today.
He'll definitely be a big factor, and I think the thing that you like about him the most is he's smart. He understands and knows exactly where he wants to go with the football. They run a little RPO offense, so it'll be key for him to make sure that he's reading that defensive end or that defensive tackle, depending on what they're running.
Auburn's defense was stellar last week. Guys were a little upset they didn't post a shutout. This linebacking core, obviously the heart and soul of this defense, but pressure right away on Nettles as he throws, and that one a little bit over the head of Hickson, but he was open. Pressure came from Colby Wood. Defensively, the run game was non-existent for Akron. They allowed just -3 yards on the ground, the fewest since 2001 against the Florida Gators. 11 tackles for loss. He had 7 sacks. Could have been more. You talked to Derek Mason, the defensive coordinator. Little low snap. They're going to stop that play, though. Flag down.
I think that looked like it may have been in the neutral zone. That football was short. Marcus Harris may have touched that center before it was time to go, so it may be a 5-yard penalty on Auburn.
Our referee today, Steve Marlowe in the white hat.
Offside, defense, number 50, contact in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty, second down. Please reset. 14-54.
And you see that nose tackle. He's just early, and it looked like you want to anticipate that snap count by that quarterback, and we know it's loud, and so a lot of times it's based off of movement, and he's just early there. And so first play, you have an open receiver going through zone, and then the next play, an offsides by Auburn.
So second down and 5. Inside handoff goes to Merritt. He'll take it out over the 30 to the 33-yard line. Give him.
Thanks, Dave. Well, when I talked to Coach Harsin yesterday, he said an obstacle for the team would be the 11 a.m. start time. Deuce, you know, a lot of the game day prep work, that helps you get your mind right for the game. They did a lot of that yesterday. Coach Harsin said it does not matter. He needs his guys ready to play and ready to put good things on tape. We've already seen one penalty. He wants clean football from his team today.
That definitely messes with you when you have an early start, and one of the things that you want to be in is a routine, and so that routine has to get pushed up, just like Andrea was talking about, and so a lot of things they had to do yesterday, and so you may see a couple of mistakes early on, but that's not something that you want to kind of continuously do.
So Bo Nix will run this offense, hands it off, Tank Bigsby. He'll pick up 11 on a first down carry. Keenan Isaac from the secondary will bring him down. But Tank is, well, he was a tank in game number 1.
Nice job, nice patience here by Tank Bigsby and just being able to find that zone there, the soft spot in that defense. And the refs, they get together to talk about something quickly. I know Alabama State was substitution.
Illegal substitution.
There it is.
Defense. 12 players on the field. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is the first down.
The flag was off the field there, Dave, but they were running guys. They wanted to change defenses, and they were still running guys off the field as Auburn was snapping the football.
Coach Ely saying, you got to let us sub. If they're going to sub, we got to sub. 4-man rush on first down. That one is incomplete. A big collision around the 38-yard line, trying to hit Cedric Jackson. But Bo Nix last week, 20 of 22. Completed his first 11 passes against Akron. 275 yards, no interceptions with those 3 touchdowns. It was about as good as you could do as a quarterback. And now the question is, as you hit on it, can we sustain, maybe not that level, but something near it throughout the season? That one almost picked off a little bit late. Again, trying to hit Jackson. Jacquez Payton comes up, makes the play defensively, and that'll be 3rd and 10.
Nice job by Payton being able to jump this route here. You would prefer for Jackson to be able to come back to the football here as far as the receiver is concerned, but he sits, and the defensive back drives on that football and almost comes up with the interception.
Payton, the redshirt junior. Bring an extra man. Auburn picks it up over the middle. Robertson with the reception. He's into Hornet territory around the 43-yard line. Keenan Isaac drags him down, but a gain of 27 on a 3rd and 10.
Nice job of Robertson. Nice job of Bo Nix. You have a pocket. He's able to step up into that pocket, and it's just clean throw and catch, and nice conversion on 3rd down.
Yeah, good pickup as Alabama State brought an extra pass rusher. Now the handoff to Bigsby. He's got some room off the left side, but a good open field tackle on the back end by Keenan Isaac.
An Alabama State player looks like he's hurt.
Andrew Ogletree, the redshirt sophomore out of Columbus Carver High School, Columbus, Georgia.
One of the players that Coach Pearson talked about that he really liked as far as being one.
We'll step aside as they attend to Mr. Ogletree. Back to Auburn right after this.
Dustin Poirier wanted a better life, built it. Wanted respect, earned it. Wanted a title, won it. Decided to change the world, doing it. You know how my man keeps accomplishing everything he sets out to do? He believes that he can. Guaranteed Rate is a mortgage lender who understands the power of belief. First home, dream home, whatever your goal, you can make it real. Because if you believe, you will.
Subway has so much new, it didn't fit in that last ad. Like the new Artisan Italian and Hearty multigrain bread. It's the Eat Fresh, Refresh at Subway. It's so much new, there's no time for Serena.
Wait, what?
Sorry, we don't even have time to say they were created by world-class bakers. Oh, guess we did.
Seriously?
My bad.
It's gonna smell like grilling out there, America. Hamburgers and hot dogs mostly. At Johnsonville, that breaks our hearts. Because our family-owned company has been making sausage in Johnsonville, Wisconsin since 1945. How can hamburgers and hot dogs be our national tradition when you can't even spell sausage without USA? So exercise your right to mix it up, grillers, and throw on some Johnsonville sausage, because freedom is delicious.
Your shipping manager left to find themselves, leaving you lost.
you need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
Selling on Poshmark is crazy simple. All you have to do is post a picture, add a description, add a price, and you're pretty much good to go. Right now I'm selling Air Jordans and Nikes and Adidas, anything really performance related or style related.
Download the free Poshmark app now.
These are Tecovas boots. They're everything a Western boot should be. If a mountain of 5-star reviews doesn't blaze a trail for you, our craftsmanship and style will. Quality and confidence, shipped right to your door. Find your pair at Tecovas.com.
Let's take a look at the keys to victory brought to you by Barbecue Guys. And Deuce, break this down for us.
Well, for Alabama State, you want to win, try to win each quarter. You know, you can't look at the overall game as far as.
There looked like a whole lot of hand checking. Yeah.
That's hand fighting there.
Pass interference. Defense number 4. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And early on, this looks like really good coverage. He's pulling them the whole way. That's Peyton pulling them the whole way, and both guys really, as they run down the field, holding on to each other. And Peyton makes the play, but the referee saw him pulling the whole way in 15-yarder.
That'll make it first down and 10. Ball sits at the 25-yard line. Bo Nix under center, traditional I formation. And off right side, Bixby makes a man miss, makes another one miss. He's to the 10. A flag will come in, though. That one may be coming back. We'll see. They'll spot it at around the 2.5.
It's going to be holding on Auburn, and it was right there on the edge. Good block by the tight end, Samuel.
Holding, offense number 16. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
That's Malcolm Johnson out on the edge. That won't make that man very happy. Let's go down to Andrea.
Yeah, guys, just a quick update on Andrew Ogletree. You saw him go down on the field earlier. He was in the tent pointing to his left ankle and shin area, and he did walk with assistance into the tunnel. No update on his status just yet.
All right, thanks, Dre. Here's Bixby off the left side. Big collision right around the 20-yard line. Keenan Isaac, boy, Peyton and Isaac out on the edge in the back end for this Hornet defense. They have been involved, it seems like, every play.
Well, when you got physical defensive backs, that definitely helps you, particularly when you talk about trying to tackle a guy like Tank Bigsby. And we've seen some one-on-one situations there where they're not afraid to come up. They've been able to come up on the edges and make some tackles. I mean, you're still talking about him picking up 4 or 5 yards. But if your corners are going to be physical, you'll definitely take it as far as from a defensive standpoint.
It'll be second down at about 4.5 for the Tigers. Again, line up in that eye with Nix under center. Bixby string handoff off the right side. Needs to get it to the 15, and he's going to be a little bit shy. It'll be third down and short. Brandon Gaddy coming up to make the play for the Hornets.
A little penetration inside as far as the Hornets are concerned. Looks like, you know, one of the things that Coach Harsin talked about was blocking the right guy. Looked like they let a guy go up the middle, and so, you know, it's always a good thing when you can turn around and depend on, lean on a guy like Tank Bigsby just to be able to hand it off to him, and now you get a little short yardage situation. We'll see if they try to get out on the edge or they try to run the ball up the middle again.
Nix under center again. Third down and short. They'll hand it off to Bixby, and he didn't get there. Alabama State will come up with the stop on third down. Let's see what Auburn wants to do.
Auburn's going to kick a field goal.
And Auburn's going to bring out the field goal unit as a nice play by Rudy Jean-Louis.
Just penetration up the middle, and, you know, not only were the defensive line when the linebackers were able to get penetration as well, and so Tank Bigsby never really had a chance to get any momentum going forward.
So here's Anders Carlson. This will be from 34 yards. The kick is on the way, and and it is good. And for Carlson, he has now hit 55 field goals in his career. He has been a workhorse for the Auburn Tigers. They lead it by 3.
SEC Network Football is presented by Allstate. Save money like a champion with Allstate.
Impressed with the student section effort on this early game. They are packed in, enjoying some football, and they are waiting for halftime. Alabama State able to bring their band along. You know, in this COVID era, not a lot of traveling by the visiting team's bands. But the Auburn band has given up a little bit of their time at halftime so that we can be entertained by one of the best collegiate marching bands in the land. And the Honeybees will be out there too now.
The Honeybees, Alabama State will put on a show.
They were here back in 2018, and people still talking about that performance. Carlson will kick it away. That one will bounce out of the end zone. Hey, coming up at 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 Central, our Week 2 football lineup continues on with number 1 ranked Alabama hosting Mercer. Number 20 Ole Miss will host Austin Peay. Missouri squares off against Kentucky, and LSU looks to bounce back against McNeese State. Every game also available on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. 1 app and 1 tap. Nick Saban getting after his boys a little bit this week. Didn't want them reading all the clippings after week 1.
Coach Saban said he hadn't done anything yet. I need to see it. I need to see some more.
Second possession of the game for the Hornets. They'll hand it off right side. Merritt hits and bounces back. A big collision. Jimmy Jenkins, he might have run into his own offensive lineman.
Yeah, that was Marcus Harris that got a lot of penetration, and I think, he was the reason that you talk about the running back not being able to stay on track. Merritt just didn't really have anywhere to go because of the penetration.
Merritt had that 1-yard touchdown run in overtime last week for the win against Miles. Neves, a little slip screen on the far side. Not much happened there. Auburn read that one well. So a gain of about a yard. Jacoby McClain there to make the tackle. Jacoby with 7 stops last week.
Jacoby does a nice job of just being able to run down the line. He fights off of the block. And he's able just to be able to make that tackle in open field. You know, Derek Mason from that last series being able to get a 3 and out. You were in really a 3rd and short situation. Now really 3rd and long. They haven't come after him a lot as far as Nettle is concerned. We'll see if they turn up the pressure a little bit this 3rd down.
McClellan led the country with 113 tackles last year, average over 10 per game. Nettles will throw, and that pass is caught. That'll be good enough for an Alabama State first down out over the 35-yard line. It goes to Wallace Corker. Roger McCreary there in coverage.
Nice throw by Nettles, and he takes a big shot here. It looks like, I think that was Hall that was able to get a shot on him, but nice job of sitting in the pocket and being able to just deliver this football. Looks like a stop route, almost a jump ball situation to his receiver. Wallace Corker comes up with the football for their first down of the game as well.
8.5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Auburn leads it by field goal. Inside handoff goes to Merritt. Merritt just 185 pounds going up against that front 4 of the Auburn Tigers, but they got guys closing in. I mean, Tony Ferris 330, McGee's 308.
That's a split zone look right there by Alabama State, but they're just trying to find a soft spot in that defense, and it's not very soft. There's not a lot of running room for Merritt in there inside. Little split zone look. We'll see if Nettles keeps it at some point.
Fair, the transfer from UAB, anchoring the middle of that defensive line. Auburn bringing an extra pass rusher. Nettles gets that out of there just in time. Pass is caught by Jeremiah Hickson.
Jeremiah Hickson does a nice job of being able to just sit down in his zone. Nettle finds him, and now you talk about an opportunity to be able to run 3rd and short. He just goes to the sticks. You know, I know if you're Alabama State, you want him probably to pick up that first down automatically, so it's not 3rd and short. But nice job by Nettles just finding his receiver, finding that weak spot in the defense and picking it up.
Miles Crawley comes in, the freshman quarterback out of Tucker, Georgia. Trying to run a little quarterback keeper off the right side on 3rd and short. Miles is 6'4", 225. But Owen Papo met him in the hole, and they lose a yard or 2 on that one.
Quarterback power. And they try to see if Auburn is in man-to-man. They send the motion, kind of the jet motion, but nobody really goes in that. So that tells you it's zone. And there's just too much penetration. Auburn defensive line, they do a nice job of just getting so much penetration. Quarterback power, you don't stand a chance. And so that's a nice job by Owen Papo being able to just blow that play up as far as quarterback power is concerned.
So the Hornets will punt it away. Aubrey Grace will kick it back to Demetrius Robertson. That one is blocked. It's a loose football around the 25-yard line. So special teams getting it done for the Tigers, and they'll have excellent field position.
A lot of penetration there. Nice job of Auburn just being able to take advantage of some of that blocking as far as the punt is concerned. There are two guys there that probably got their hands on that punt. And I don't know if it was necessarily a rush, but that punter has to be quicker as well. But just a nice job of Auburn. And Coach Brian Harsin talked about it, you know, being able to make a play on special teams, whether that was in the return game or, you know, being able to do something like that, come up with a block punt.
Wesley Steiner, Barton Lester, the two guys that converge on Grace, setting up this offense with an extremely short field.
Yeah, if I'm Auburn, I look at maybe taking a shot, maybe some type of double move to maybe get this crowd roaring.
Jarquez Hunter checks in at running back. They will play fake it to Hunter. Going toward the end zone. That one is just flat out dropped by Newton, and he was going to walk it into the end zone. Instead, he'll have to jog it back to the huddle.
Hard play action, Bo Nix to Jarquez Hunter. You've got really like a scissors route or an over route, and it was there. Kylan Newton had a shot at this ball. He just didn't look it in. It looks like he almost is looking at the end zone before he looks it in. But, I mean, he is going to score. He is going to score, and that's the shot play Mike Bobo comes out with after the sudden change as far as the defense giving you, or at least the special teams giving you a short field.
They will hand it off to Hunter, and he is met there and will be stopped for a short gain. Boy, did he bust onto the scene. The true freshman out of Philadelphia, Mississippi. Went to Neshoba Central. Had a great game, 110 yards on 9 carries last week. Welcome to the Plains, young man.
And coaching staff, Cadillac Williams and those guys, Coach Harsin, Mike Bobo, having a lot of confidence in him. You talk about being able to get in the game early, still in the first quarter for a freshman, and not a redshirt freshman, just a true freshman. That speaks volumes for you.
Hank Bigsby back on the field. By the way, Sean Shivers, our other running back, we were told right before kickoff today, not available. It's a medical issue, and that's all the information we were given. Here's Bo Nix, flat down in the backfield. Bo will run it out of bounds inside the 15, but that is right in the area of holding, and you can anticipate this one coming back.
Yeah, that's going to be holding on the offensive line there, and there was a twist stunt by Alabama State, and the defensive end lost containment.
Holding, 52 offense, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Bo Nix does the right thing by taking off and running because no one was outside that had containment, and they were running a twist, a stunt, a game up front as far as the defensive line, and Auburn just gets caught there. That would have picked up the first down, too, on that 3rd down play to get caught there with the holding call.
Saw Mike Bobo there with the hat and the glasses on, called.
They're able to pick up the first down. You got an Alabama State player that goes down late as well, so you've got 2 players that are banged up. Number 71, I know for the Auburn, I think he was the guy that pulled on that play.
Council down for Auburn. Donald Hill, Ely out to check on his man, and while everybody gets attended to, we'll step aside. $3-0 Auburn over Alabama State, but the Tigers are knocking on the door. Tank Bigsby, you knew it was only a matter of time, chasing 1,000 yards. And he goes over the 1,000-yard mark with this carry in his career.
Just nice run, nice patience. You know, it's a wide open lane. They do a nice job up front being able to kick out, and then you've got that tight end leading. So Tank just follows those guys and picks up the first down.
Now he turns it over to the freshman Hunter. Maybe Hudson in motion. They'll go to him on the far side, and he is tripped up on the outside. Heck of a play by Jeffrey Scott.
Jeffrey Scott does an outstanding job of making this open field tackle. He's got him in man-to-man, and so they show you that kind of orbit motion where he acts like he's going one way, stops right there at the quarterback and tailback. He turns back around. It's almost a swing pass. It's just a play in space, and he's able to make that play.
Bigsby back in the game. He'll stand to the left of Bo Nix on a second down and goal. Three receivers out to the near side. And somebody was supposed to go in motion, it appears, and some confusion offensively.
Yeah, it was tight end.
30-second timeout.
He wanted the tight end to come back in motion, and you hear the Alabama State defensive coaches hauling unbalanced. It's an unbalanced line, and so one of the things that you don't want to do is lose gap integrity and slide down too far, just because they are in that unbalanced look. And so the coaching staff and Coach Harsin, they end up calling a timeout there. But you can see tight end, he shifts over, and then Bo Nix is calling him to be able to move back again. But they're confused a little bit, and so one of the things he would have been, once he got on the line of scrimmage, he had the three receivers outside as well on the line of scrimmage, and that's why they were hollering, that unbalanced look. And Bo didn't want him on the line of scrimmage. He wanted him off the ball, and so Coach Harsin, he just calls a timeout to make sure that everybody's on the same page.
A couple of injuries a moment ago. Brandon Council, the offensive lineman, the guard for Auburn, had to be helped off. He is not back on the field. Joshua Long was the injured Alabama State player, but he seems to be raring to go. There's a 5-receiver empty look here on second and goal just inside the 10. They'll hit Cedric Jackson with it. He's down to the 3-yard line, so third and goal from there.
Slip screen outside. Slip screen to Jackson outside, and doing a pretty good job. It looked like Alabama State, they were bringing pressure from the opposite side, so a nice play call, just not able to get it in the end zone as far as scoring. This is the look that they had to call a timeout on right here.
Bo Nix, 3 of 6, 33 yards. Nix trying to keep it, trying to use some of that speed, and he is just shy, wrapped up there by Jake Howard as he reaches for the pylon and couldn't get there, and now it's fourth and goal from the 1.
And they're sending in a heavy package, and so they run a little split zone action with the quarterback keeping it. So whether that's quarterback bash or whatever, Bo Nix tries to get to that edge. He reaches the football right there at the goal line. He can't get it over. So already, this is, if you're Alabama State, you got to be fired up. We talked about them winning the quarter. I mean, being in this situation, 3-0, 4th and 1, early in the ball game. This has to be confidence-wise. This has to be outstanding for them.
Out of the I formation, 3 tight ends with a fullback.
Play clock.
And the play clock, yeah, good catch, Deuce. They'll have to call another timeout.
No, it was a delay game. They didn't get the timeout in. Yeah, they didn't get the timeout in. He was trying. Bo Nix was trying to quieten that crowd down. They're gonna have to kick the field goal now. He was trying to quieten that crowd down. There was only 3 seconds, and he still had not gotten up under center. We saw them have to burn a timeout earlier because they were misaligned, and the tight end was on the ball, and he had to get off of the ball, and so they don't call a timeout there. And so you talk about having a clean game, hadn't been clean so far.
No, it is not. This is a different deal today. And Coach Harsin, you could see some of that emotion having to bring out his field goal unit. Carlson's already hit from 34, this from 23. And he'll hammer that one through the uprights. So Auburn missed an opportunity to perhaps get one in the end zone. Instead, they'll take 2 field goals here in the first quarter with 2:39 to go in the first frame. Bo Nix, this offense just not clean is the word, but it hasn't been efficient. Last week, they scored in the first 7 possessions last week.
Well, right there, if Newton catches that football on the first play right after the turnover, it's 10-0, or at least an opportunity for 9-0. And so he drops that pass. You have to burn a timeout because your tight end doesn't line up correctly, and so you're right short on the quarterback keeper where he goes off of the edge to try to score. That's a prime opportunity for that team to be able to go up and score score and make this game 10-0. I mean, but if you're Alabama State and you're Coach Pearson, you're fired up. I mean, for you to be in a short field situation and only to give up a field goal, you couldn't have wrote it any better for him and the confidence for that defense. Score-wise, it's 6-0 Auburn, but for Alabama State, I mean, that is a win in this first quarter.
Now it'll go through the back of the end zone one more time in a 6-0 game.
Wherever fun happens, Academy Sports and Outdoors is there.
I'm going to hang out with Laura. She always seems to be doing some fun stuff. So Alabama State going to try to pick up at least a couple of first downs. We were talking to Coach Healy this week getting ready for this game, and he was like, we just have to manage the clock. We have to be better at picking up a first down here and there, and don't put ourselves in some bad spots.
First and 15 doesn't help you.
Offense, 5-yard penalty. First down.
If you're Alabama State, you're asking, why didn't the play clock reset? They were able to huddle on the sideline, and they come out on the field, and the play clock is running. And so first and 15 doesn't help you at all.
So first and 15, Nettles, your quarterback. Catch and throw as he'll hit Hickson, and he is walloped right around the 25-yard line by Roger McCreary.
Stick route by the receivers outside. We've got one guy, the outside receiver, running out, and the inside guy, he just sticks up right inside, finds that soft spot in the zone, turns around, shows the quarterback his numbers, and Nettle hits him for at least picking up 6 yards there on first down.
Nettles 3 out of 5, 18 yards here in the first quarter. They'll keep it on the ground, and nothing. And that blue wall stands tall. Hey, coming up later tonight on the SEC Network, SEC Football Final is back. The game led by Dari Noka, Coach Chiz, Chris Doring, Benjamin Watson. They'll take you through the biggest stories of the day and break down all the games. 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central, right here on this very network. Of course, you can catch it on the ESPN app as well. One app, one tap for all your sports needs.
I know Coach Healy talked about being able to, take advantage of what the defense is giving you, but, I would love to see them try to get outside a little bit from a defensive standpoint. They hadn't tried a lot. Everything has been up the middle or inside.
Third down. Some stunts up front by Auburn. Nettle sees it. Nowhere to go. Dancing around. Finally runs right into the arms of Echo Leota.
Auburn comes up with the big sack. And from a defensive standpoint, Auburn didn't line up correctly. They still had guys running around there late. That defensive front does a nice job of just being able to get pressure. And Nettles just really doesn't have anywhere to go with the football. He tries to take off, but nowhere to go with the football. Big sack by Auburn. There's a punt unit running a guy on the field late.
Grace will punt it away. His last one was blocked. This one, end-over-end line drive, and that'll go out of bounds around the 32-yard line. Let's get an injury update from Dre.
Yeah, Dave, y'all saw Brandon Council go down earlier. He was taken care of in the tent and confirmed with Auburn staff he is good to go.
That is good news. Council's a young man that only played 5 games last year because of a knee injury, and really counting on him this year. So the senior out of Tar Heel, North Carolina, hopes to get back in there. Watch for a moment. And it's one of those things, right? I mean, you've got Penn State around the corner, and I know they're not thinking about that today. But at the same time, you got to make sure you're going in there with a healthy bunch of dudes, right?
Well, you want your best guys available to you, and so you want Jackson to be able to get a little work in as far as that guard is concerned, but at the same time, you prefer Brandon Council to be in there also.
First down and 10. Hand handoff coming near size to Hunter. Breaks the tackle, still on his feet, driving close to the first down line. They'll run him out of bounds around the 41-yard line. Rudy Jean-Louis pushes him out of bounds.
Jarquez Hunter, I mean, this is just effort. This is split zone, and he just bounces it. I mean, he gains an extra 3 to 4 to 5 yards. They're just a pure effort, and Auburn is going to go into the first quarter up 6 off of a big run by the freshman.
Well, not exactly the most efficient quarter by Auburn. He had to settle for a couple of field goals, some penalties, some misalignment, but they'll take a 6-0 lead at the end of 15 minutes of play.
Be able to do that at least twice. Probably would have been a third time if it wasn't for the pass interference call as well.
So 3rd down and 1.5 yards. Handoff left side, right in the middle of that Alabama State defense. Jarquez Hunter met there. Let's see where they will spot that. It's going to be close to the line to gain.
Yeah, I don't think he got it. The defenders are showing the motion for 4th down, and they may bring in a measurement. They don't even measure.
No, it's going to be short by about a yard, almost. Great job again by Rudy Jean-Louis. The youngster out of Miami has been a big factor here defensively for Alabama State.
Now, how about the confidence right now in Jarquez Hunter being the guy that they use in this situation?
Well, it's 4th and short. He'll line up in that backfield. Little fullback lead. Hunter, he'll pick up that first down out to the 45-yard line.
Come back with it. That's power play, and he's able to get downhill. We talked about it earlier. Just running behind those shoulder pads, running behind that offensive line. You've got tight ends, you've got fullbacks that are both pulling, and he's able to find that weakness in that defense. And so just a nice job, one-back power, and the linebacker overruns it, and Hunter's able to pick up that first down.
Auburn 2 of 5 on 3rd downs today, but convert on their first 4th down attempts. Nix throws, high throw, and that one's right through the hands of Demetrius Robertson, the senior out of Savannah who transferred in from the University of Georgia.
That's one that he's got to catch. I don't know if it was just got up on him too quick, just slipped through his hands, lack of focus, lack of concentration. But Robertson has to come up with that catch. You talk about just a 5-yard hitch route. Bo Nix is on time with the throw. Should have been at least next play should have been 2nd and 5 instead of 2nd and 10.
Robertson had 42 catches in his career at Georgia with 3 touchdowns. They'll come near side with it. Here's Hudson dancing around. He'll have the first down around the 40-yard line. Let's see where they actually spot this. It'll be the 41. Rashad Davis pushes him out of bounds.
Got the numbers outside, just a bubble screen outside and just getting him in space. Auburn is going to go fast up on the football, but nice job of picking up the first down.
Nix again coming near side. John Samuel Schenker with the catch. John Samuel had 5 grabs last week. Is their most productive tight end.
See this offense pick up a little more tempo here.
Here's Hunter, breaks a tackle. Still on his feet down to the 22-yard line.
He is a physical runner. He wants to get downhill, and he is punishing those linebackers once gets downhill, and you can see that Auburn has found something they like. Alabama State is going to call a timeout. You can see they're a little winded from a defensive standpoint.
Alabama State.
And also to be able to tackle Hunter so much, that's taxing them a little bit.
All right, Auburn's on the move. Alabama State takes a timeout. We'll head back to Jordan-Hare Stadium right after this. Extra Yard for Teachers Week is an annual effort led by the College Football Playoff Foundation that brings college sports together to support and honor great teachers across the country at games and on social media. To learn more about Extra Yard for Teachers, follow at CFP Extra Yard. First and 10 for the Auburn Tigers as they are driving, looking for their first touchdown of the day. A couple of field goals by Carlson. Nix. This is lofted in the air, and a nice catch by Jarquez Hunter, showing us that ability to catch it out of the backfield.
Will route by Jarquez Hunter, and you know, that ball is perfectly placed. He's able to get 1 foot down as far as inside, and this drive has really been all about him. He's been able to run it as a running back and then obviously come up with catches as a receiver there.
Hand it off to Hunter. He's down to the 6-yard line. It'll be second down and goal from there. Auburn's been in this area a couple of times, but kind of stubbed their toe the last time they were in this area. They had a 4th and goal from the 1 and had a delay of game penalty.
Got a banged up Alabama State player Number 90, Romel Tarver. We've seen two guys at least go down. Andrew Ogletree went down earlier in the game. We hadn't seen him, and Josh Long, he was able to come back in, and so that defensive line getting banged up as they go up against this Auburn Tigers front.
Tarver out of Montgomery, another big boy at 314. There is Andrew Ogletree. Left early in that first quarter.
And this drive has been all about Jarquez Hunter. He's been phenomenal as far as running the football, been able to break tackles multiple times, and then you talk about being able to be a receiver out of the backfield, hit him on a wheel route. Physical runner.
So on 2nd and goal. Two receivers near side. Hunter is your tailback. Nix looking to throw, coming to the corner of the end zone. That one is caught by Robertson. Does he hold on? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Auburn. And there is the first touchdown of the game.
There is the first touchdown of the game. Nice job of being able to come up with the reception. Beautiful throw by Nix as well. He placed that ball where only Robertson can be able to catch that football. It looked like Isaac was going to be able to undercut it, but he was not able to get a hand on it. And Robertson came up with the reception. Beautiful throw, beautiful catch.
Carlson missed a point after last week. He'll hammer that one home. He is now 124 of 127 in his career in point afters. An 11-play, 68-yard drive. Took just shy of 4 minutes, and Bo Nix with a touchdown pass to the Georgia transfer, Demetrius Robertson. SEC Network football is presented by Allstate. Auburn with their first touchdown of the game, leading 13-0. Another look at Bo Nix hitting up Demetrius Robertson.
Just nice job of Bo Nix and Robertson. Robertson's in the slot there, and he just runs basically like a corner route, and the quarterback is able to really just break that throw off, and you can see from the pylon camera, he was able to get that 1 foot in. Isaac had pretty good coverage from Alabama State, but Bo Nix, that's just a perfect throw, and like we talked about earlier, just a beautiful catch by Robertson. He had a drop earlier in that drive on a hitch route that he should have come up with, but makes up for it there for the touchdown. Wind blows the ball off the tee there.
That'll happen.
They'll reset the play clock and have someone to come in and hold it for you. It's Donovan Kaufman.
There's Robertson. Getting some high fives, including his quarterback. Had 3 catches last week. So Carlson with another kick that will hit in the end zone. Well, our critically acclaimed series, True South, returns for its 4th season tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, with John T. Edge traveling around Scott, Louisiana, meeting the locals at a Cajun dance hall, exploring eateries and learning more about the culture and history of the South. Basically getting to know good people through food. What's wrong with that, right? Right here on the SEC Network and, of course, the ESPN app. You ever been to Scott, Louisiana?
Passed through Scott. Haven't been hang out in Scott, Louisiana.
Don't know that I've been there. Trying to set up a screen, flag down in the backfield. They go to Jones with it, who bounces around like a pinball.
It's going to be offsides on Auburn. They had a safety pressure coming off the edge. Smoke Monday was coming off the edge, and he was offside. Got in that neutral zone a little bit. And
offside. Defense, number 21, in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Alabama State had a pretty good play call because they were running a screen to that side. You want that offensive lineman to be able to pick off the cornerback because it's in a one-on-one situation as far as matchup is concerned, and then all of the other traffic would have been coming as far as flow is concerned. So nice play call, just didn't execute it, but you still pick up the first down.
First down and 5 coming up for Alabama State. Pass is caught on the outside by Wallace Corker. Roger McCreary pushes him out of bounds, but that'll be good enough to move the chains, and that is exactly what Coach Ely's looking for. Pick up that first down. Chew up some of that clock, shorten this game up a little bit.
Shorten it up a little bit. It's just a 5-yard out route. They were on time with the throw. Auburn playing a little bit of soft coverage.
Second first down of the game for the Hornets. Go to the outside with it. Pass is caught there by Ja'Cory Merritt. He has a big gain across midfield.
Nice job of the tackle and the receiver from the outside on this screen here as they just get it to Merritt. And we've seen them run, so that's 2 plays. 3 out of 3 plays, they've run 2 different types of screen, and this time they're able to complete it and get Merritt in space, and he's able to pick up another first down for him.
Gain of 15. By the way, we have not seen their best running back, Ezra Gray, the 5th-year senior out of Lynn Haven, Florida. He is available today, but he is now, to my knowledge, he hasn't set foot on the field yet. They have gone right here with Ja'Cory Merritt, who has done a nice job. Owen Papo making the tackle. Let's go downstairs to Dre.
Guys, I just saw Papo telling his teammates to shift, communicating with the team. If this Auburn defense needs energy, look to the linebackers. Coach Harsin said they are the core of the team. And defensive coordinator Derek Mason.
She gets Akron with a big play there. And now it's 3rd down and 6. Empty set. Nettles fires. Quick hitter to Hickson. He'll have the first down. By Darius Knight, the strong safety making the play in the secondary, but not before the chains start moving again.
And that's another thing, Ryan Nettles, you have to be impressed with him as far as knowing where he wants to go with this football. I mean, even in some one-on-one situations, or at least right there, it's just a quick slant, and he's able to hit the right guy with the football to pick up that first down.
Gain of 11. Best drive of the day for the Hornets for sure. 3 receivers near side. Nettles trying to hit Hickson again. A flag will come in. There is a flag around that SEC logo on the 25-yard line. They're actually going to move that up a little bit. And Alabama State and Auburn both moving. McCreary on Hickson again today. It's been that matchup.
And I think that was still a reception as well.
Yeah.
Still a reception, but I don't know if they're going to call
personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 21. Half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. First down.
Wow, that turns into a really big play.
So not only do they come up with the catch, but they had to be off press. That's exactly what it was. It was off of the press. He was able to catch him. And so not only do you give up the reception, but then you get tacked on. It's only half the distance since you can't give him the full 15, but another face mask penalty. And so that's another, we'll call it miscue by this Auburn unit overall.
Nettles having a good start to this game, but they'll bring in Miles Crawley now. Again, the freshman out of Tucker, Georgia, Tucker High School.
They call a timeout. First time we saw him, it was a quarterback power.
Alabama State. They're second of the half.
So Donald Hill-Ely will take the timeout. As Alabama State's knocking on the door. Back in a moment.
He's not in.
Well, there's number 20, Ezra Gray, who is his 6th year of college football. Super senior, was first team all-SWAC last year. Had a SWAC high 436 yards rushing in that short season. Of course, they played in the spring, so a quick turnaround for the Hornets to suit up for the fall. But they are knocking on the door. Miles Crawley, number 7, and at quarterback. On a 1st and goal, the big boy trying to go left side, nothing there. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 5.
The quarterback keeper, and he's just running inside zone, but I mean, he never allowed it to really develop as far as up front with that offensive line. And Kobe Wooden and Marcus Harris for Auburn, they're just able to make the tackle. I mean, if you're going to run a quarterback keeper, you got to at least let the offensive line be able to send them one way or the other. It's a zone. It's a zone play for him, and so they've got to be able to develop and push those guys one way or the other, and he just took off right away.
You wonder if they're setting him up for something here. Maybe throw off this a little bit. They will bootleg left to the end zone, and that one is through the hands of an Auburn defender. It looked like by Darius Knighton had a chance for the interception. They were looking for Josh Knight in the end zone.
Well, I don't like them switching to quarterbacks, and here Nettle comes back into the game. They just try to run a Q9 player, basically, and you want to hit the guy in the flat, but he's not open, and so the guy that's covering, number 19 that's covering Knighton, he ends up almost making that play, and so Knighton He falls off of the guy that's in the flat and almost makes that interception. Nettles is back in the game now.
Third down and go. A couple of tight ends. Two receivers to the near side, including Hickson in the slot. They'll go underneath, and pass is caught. Terrence Ellis with the reception, but he couldn't get that one to the end zone, right?
Yeah, but he didn't have it, so if you don't have it, you go ahead and take the yardage. You kick the field goal. I mean, we don't want to say it's a moral victory, but at that point, it's a moral victory for Alabama State in that offense. He really didn't want to force it, and I don't really like them taking it out as far as Nettles. He's been too good as far as throwing the football for this team, getting them in the right plays, getting it to the right playmaker. But then you take him out for, all right, I understand maybe the quarterback run, but then that second play, I want Nettles in the game to be able to make that decision for me.
Scooped up by Auburn. It is a foot race to the goal line. Nehemiah Pritchett to the end zone.
Two special teams plays for this Auburn team comes up huge for them, and now you have a sudden change where Alabama State, they have to get lined up to be able to block as far as the field goal is concerned. And so you talk about a shift in momentum for a team and get a crowd roaring again. That's exactly what happens. I mean, Alabama State, they're about to put points on the board, and you come away with that kind of that victory as far as moral is concerned, and they ended up getting a field goal block. You've had a punt block. Special team has been horrendous for them.
80 yards on that return by Nehemiah Pritchett. Look more like Ronaldo Nehemiah with those old school track and field specialists, connoisseurs. Wooden with the block, helping his teammate Nehemiah Pritchett, and just like that, Auburn up by 20.
Talking about the 4 different games in action right now. CD, a little momentum change right there in the play.
Yeah, special teams, man. We don't give it enough credit sometimes.
And not enough emotion. I'd love to see some more emotion from Auburn right now.
Sloppy. Got to be more efficient. Delay of games.
You talking about me or during or the game? Oh, we'll talk to you guys at half.
That might be the most handsome 4 dudes you see on television right there. That's a lot of money invested in those suits. Grant just pull on the return, nowhere to go. Looking forward to those guys coming up at halftime. There is a flag down way back toward midfield. We'll wait for that.
Offsides Auburn, and so you talk about some miscues. They have had a ton of them. And I'm surprised the returner didn't.
Offside. Kicking team, number 27. 5-yard penalty. Re-kick.
Yeah.
That's 6 penalties in the first half.
Yeah, I'm surprised Poole didn't fair catch that as well. He caught that. Wasn't really running forward. He caught it on the 10, and so Alabama State is going to make them re-kick it, and so they feel like that they may be able to get better. I definitely believe that they can get better field position.
They'd have to really mess this one up, I think, right?
Yeah, I definitely agree. You know, the other kickoffs have basically been touchbacks in the end zone, and so I'm sure if they do a better job of it, either fair catching that ball if they feel like it's not clean enough for them, or at least getting out. So I guess about the 20. We've seen the wind. We saw one kickoff. The wind blew the football off the tee, and it looked like there it hung up in the air a little bit. Kind of surprised Poole, the returner.
Boy, Coach Arson is up and down that sideline, just shaking his head. Seems like every shot we get at him, he's frustrated about something today.
Well, you've at least doubled the penalties from last week already, and you've only played not even a full half of football.
Yeah, just 3 penalties last week, and they were really clean in every aspect of the game, and that hasn't been the case today. And as you said, tomorrow will be a little different than what last Sunday was around the football building, that's for sure, as Penn State is on the horizon. Carlson will kick this one through the end zone, so they will get better field position out to the 25-yard line. But he has to be happy about this. The special teams, which he is heavily involved in, Coach Arson, comes up with a big block kick and a return.
Yeah, Wooten just does a nice job of just being able to get penetration. They really overloaded that left side of the offensive line as far as blocking was concerned, and Wooten comes up and he's able to get his arm, that right arm with the brace on it. He's able to get that arm up, and it's a blocked field goal. And it's a short field goal attempt for Alabama State as well, and not able to convert.
80 yards on that return. The last time Auburn blocked a field goal for a touchdown. Blocked a punt or a field goal in the same game, was back in 2013, and they did that against the Crimson Tide. So they've done that today. Blocked a punt, blocked a field goal.
You're bringing up some bad memories for some people there, sir.
Or good, depending on how you look at it.
If you're looking at it, if you're an Auburn fan, then yeah, that's outstanding. Alabama State taking their time here. Let that play clock run down a little bit. That the inside slot receiver ran.
By the way, just to update you, the last time Auburn blocked a field goal for a touchdown was against Kentucky in 2009. Three-man rush. A long throw. Caught by Jones. He ended up, I think, losing a yard on that.
Yeah, he did, and this flag probably is going to be down against Alabama State. They were just running another screen play, and they've had some success running those. They're standing around maybe hoping that it's not going to be on them, but I think that's who they're going to get.
Personal foul. Blocking below the waist. 66 offense. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
Kind of throw and roll in certain situations, and that time he gets up the field, and Stafford is the offensive lineman that's going to get caught there, and trying to clean it up a little bit. Those referees, and you can't throw in that certain situation. And what I mean by throw is as far as throwing your body and maybe rolling, or you can't cut in that situation as well.
So Demetrius Robinson changes jersey numbers. He starts as 0, but because he is on the field with Owen Papo now, he changes to number 12 and will return this punt. It is an end-over-end punt. It ends up taking a Hornet favorable bounce inside the 35-yard line. Hey, coming up at halftime, you can watch the live performance of the Auburn University Marching Band. It's on SEC Network Plus. You can start streaming right now on the ESPN app. It's coming up in 4:47 off this game clock. Good to be back in the stadium. Fans, bands. Robertson takes off number 12, goes back to his usual 0.
It's been a while since we saw this offense out there, just because you've had so much action with special teams going out there and making plays. And so we do see Tank Bigsby back on the field. Last drive, it was more so all Jarquez Hunter. Now you have stoppage in play by the officials, and so I don't know if Robertson can play this play since he was on the field for the last play at number 12. He may have to come off the field for this play. He can't put the number 0 on for this particular play. He may have to come off for one play.
Number 12 for Auburn is now wearing 0.
Well, they just let us know.
Yeah, they said that's who you have to check in, right?
They just let us know. You can still continue to play, but you're number 0 now.
You couldn't fool us, though. Deuce, we were all over it. And there he goes in motion. Old number 0. Nix looks that way, then comes back, tries to set up a little screen. He had a lineman in front of him. Bigsby just dropped it. It's good to see Council back in there, by the way. And he was going to be a one-man escort for Mr. Bigsby, and there was a lot of green grass out there.
And that defensive lineman just bothered him enough. Yeah, it bothered him enough. Perfect call. They're playing man-to-man, and it was set up perfectly. Nobody is out there, and they just did just enough to get in front of him to get that incomplete.
Quick hitter, the outside, covered well. On the outside by Isaac as they hit Jackson with it. I was just thinking, Council's probably in a roundabout way kind of thinking, man, that was kind of, he probably looked up and saw he had 70 yards to run. He was like, maybe it's the worst thing that could happen. The big fella.
That's on cruise control right there.
Nix slings it sidearm. That one is batted down. Look at trying to find Hudson, but Darius Whitehurst got his paw in there and slapped it to the turf.
Nice job of that defense. They are coming from all angles. Coach Pearson, the defensive coordinator for Alabama State, talked about that as well. And Darius Whitehurst, if this ball maybe is not on a rope and he puts a little bit of air under it, he's able to run up under it. But since Bo Nix kind of almost just on line drive, that Whitehurst is able to get a hand on it, and they're almost about to get off the field, or at least they force a 4th down.
Auburn 2 of 6 on 3rd downs here in the first half. Chapman's punt, fair catch called for at the 15-yard line by McMinn. And Alabama State's defense does their job, and they'll turn the football back over to the offense, who had their best drive of the game. The only problem was it ended in a blocked field goal that resulted in a touchdown. Our all-state celebration moment was just moments ago, and yeah, this is a good one to celebrate if you're an Auburn student. Pritchett the other way, 80 yards.
man on it, Joshua Long, to be able to knock it out for them. Alabama State comes up with the turnover.
Quick hitter over the middle, incomplete, little high throw. Well, that's a dangerous throw. Hickson
That's probably that's probably the first time that Nettles has made a bad decision as far as throwing the football and putting it in the right place. He goes with the slot receiver, the inside guy. There is a lot of traffic in there. You talk about linebackers and safeties both in there. He probably should have went to the outside receiver there.
Nowhere to run from Merritt. Auburn does have a timeout left. It's 3rd down. Zacoby McClain with his 6th tackle here in the first half. Zacoby in the opener had 7 stops. Time for the team lead in that department.
And if you're Alabama State, you run this play clock all the way down. You know, if Auburn isn't going to use their timeout right now, you don't want to give them too much more time to be able to make a play on you here as this quarter comes to an end. And what's interesting is Alabama State had the box, they had the numbers there, and they were still not able to get any positive yards on that run play.
Nettles will pick up the first down near that Auburn logo at the 46-yard line. They'll move the chains.
And we've seen them be able to use their other quarterback, Crawley. We haven't really seen them run Nettles a lot, and this time it's a design quarterback run, able to get behind Stafford, and he's able to pick up a first down.
Gain of 11.
See if they try to push the football down the field a little bit here.
Clock continues to run. They've lost about 20 seconds since they set the chains. Nettles, he'll be dropped, and Alabama State may just let the clock run out here.
Yeah, I agree with you. And that's what Coach Ely is saying. Let's get to the locker room. Probably had a shot there. Protection broke down on him.
T.D. Moultrie picks up the sack. T.D. had a big game in the opener. 3 tackles behind the line against Akron and 7 total stops. So that will be the final play of the first half. Not a smooth first couple of quarters for the Auburn Tigers. I'm sure Coach Harsin will have a little message for his guys to wake up. He was worried about the 11 a.m. kickoff and how the guys would come out and perform. But regardless, it is a 20-0 Auburn Tiger advantage after 30 minutes of football. Coach Harsin making his way down to Andrea Carter in the end zone. And let's go down to her right now. Dre?
Coach Harsin, you mentioned the 11 a.m. start being an obstacle. How do you evaluate your team's first half focus?
Well, we're losing the turnover battle right now. We got to be able to catch the ball. I think the defense is playing well. They did a great job there just to finish the drive out, get a block, get a touchdown off of that. So we got to run the ball. We got to catch the ball. We got to be more consistent on the offensive side, and really got to go in there and just focus on that and just do our jobs.
You mentioned offensive consistency. What has to happen for that unit to get some momentum in the second half?
Yeah, hang on to the ball, number one. Catch it when it's thrown to you, and then we got to block the right people. So it's really it's simple right now. We just got to do our job, and we're not doing it at this point. So we need to make sure we do it in the second half.
Coach, thank you.
Well, he's certainly calm for a guy that seemed a little agitated walking up and down the sidelines. It's a 20-0 Auburn lead. He says it's simple. And this is a simple toss, as we say in the business, to Peter Burns.
Thank you, Dave Neal. Welcome to the Farm Ridge Halftime Report. Hopefully a little bit more energy here on the set than we saw maybe from the Auburn Tigers in that first half. Gene Chizik, Benjamin Watson, Chris Storing. I am Peter Burns. Hi, hello. Chiz, we see these games against these opponents. What did you make of that first half?
You could see the frustration on Brian Harsin's face, right? It's your biggest nightmare as a coach. You're not ready to play. You're not focused. I saw drop passes for touchdowns. The first 3rd and 1 of the game, they couldn't convert. Then they get down to 4th and goal, and they get a delay of game. So it's a very sloppy game. Now, they did block the field goal attempt and to make it 20-0, but this is not the way you want to see your team respond after last week. Was impressive.
Exactly. And he mentioned that 11 a.m. start. And I don't know about you, but you remember, all of us remember, playing at an 11 o'clock
JP games?
Oh my, yes, the J.
Not to mention the opponent that you're playing
Exactly. And so part of playing big-time football, though, is you got to get yourself up. And so what I love to see was a little more enthusiasm. We saw that, though, with the special teams. We neglect special teams somehow, and the spark that they can give. That block field goal for the touchdown got the crowd into it, and I think you'll see a different second half.
Yeah, to me, it really has nothing to do with who the opponent is. It's about executing your own plan. As Coach Harsin talked about, some drops. You saw lack of ball security from Bo Nix in the pocket there, not being able to finish in the red zone. So to me, it's going back in and cleaning up your own mistakes, because everything that's happened to Auburn has been self-inflicted and not so much about the opponent here.
Might be able to get away with it this week, going 8-16 for Bo Nix. Next week, remember, they travel up to face the Nittany Lions up there in Happy Valley. Got a lot more football being played here around the SEC. Let's go ahead and get you highlights of what's going on. We got like 19 different screens in front of it. It's a beautiful thing. Florida, South Florida, scoreless. Damian Pierce. Little 7-yard touchdown there, CD.
Yeah, nice to see Florida being able to run the football this year. Last week, it was a